All right. You ready for round two? That's right, that's right. Man, the audience is doing so well today. Very good. Give yourselves a hand. Okay, so for those that this is their first time to Poetry Out Loud, just want to give you a little bit about the rules. As we mentioned, they compete in state and classroom, then city finals, state finals, and then they go on to nationals. They choose one of 3 poems. Selected must be pre-20th century. One of 3 poems selected must be 25 lines or shorter. And 1 poem may satisfy both criteria and may be the student's 3rd poem. And all the poems selected must be from the Poetry Out Loud print or online anthology. And the students may not use props or wear costumes during their recitations. So, we are gonna go in the same order as we did last time, and this time we won't do any bios. So, are you all ready for turbo speed now? All right, here we go. On deck, we have Paige Yanny, but please welcome to the stage Trent Remer.
I go back to May 1937 by Sharon Olds. I see them standing at the formal gates of their colleges. I see my father strolling out under the ochre sandstone arch, the red tiles glinting like bent plates of blood behind his head. I see my mother with a few light books at her hip, standing at a pillar made of tiny bricks, the wrought iron gate still open behind her, its sword tips aglow in the May air. They are about to graduate. They are about to get married. They are kids. They are dumb. All they know is they are innocent. They would never hurt anybody. I want to go up to them and say, "Stop, don't do it. She's the wrong woman, he's the wrong man. You are going to do things you could not imagine you would ever do. You are going to do bad things to children. You are going to suffer in ways you have not heard of. You are going to want to die." I want to go up to them there in the late May sunlight and say it. Her hungry, pretty face turning to me. Her pitiful, beautiful, untouched body. His arrogant, handsome face turning to me. His pitiful, beautiful, untouched body. But I don't do it. I want to live. I take them up like the male and female paper dolls and strike them at the hips like chips of flint, as if to strike sparks from them. I say, "Do what you are going to do, and I will tell about it."
Keep it going, keep it going. We have on deck Cheryl Mindy, but please welcome to the stage Paige Yanny.
A Poison Tree by William Blake. I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath did end. I was angry with my foe. I told it not, my wrath did grow. And I watered it in fears, night and morning with my tears. And I sunned it with my smiles and with soft, deceitful wiles. And it grew both day and night till it bore an apple bright. And my foe beheld it shine and he knew that it was mine, and into my garden stole when the night had veiled the pole. In the morning, glad I see my foe outstretched beneath the tree.
All right, on deck, we have Sidney Drake. But coming up to the stage, Cheryl Mindy.
America, I Sing You Back, by Allison Adele Hedgecoke, for Phil Young and my father Robert Hedgecoke, for Whitman and Hughes. America, I sing back what sung you in, sing back the moment you cherished breath, sing you home into yourself and back to reason. Before America began to sing, I sung her to sleep, held her cradle board, wept her into day. My song gave her curation, prepared her delivery, held her severed cord, beautifully beaded. My song helped her stand, held her hand for first steps, nourished her very being, fed her, placed her 3 sisters strong. My song comforted her as she battled my reason, broke my long-held footing sure, as any child might do. As she pushed herself away, forced me to remove myself, as I cried this country, my song grew roses, in each tear's fall. My blood-veined rivers painted pipestone quarries, circled canyons, while she made herself maiden fine. But here I am, here I remain high on each and every peak, carefully rumbling her great underbelly, prepared to pour forth singing. And sing again I will, as I have always done, never silenced unless in the company of strangers, singing, the stoic face, polite repose, polite while dancing deep inside, polite, mother of her world, sister of myself. When my song sings aloud again, when I call her back to cradle, call her to peer into waters, to behold herself in dark and light, day and night, call her to sing along, call her to mature, to envision, then she will quake herself over. My song will make it so. When she grows far past her self-considered purpose, I will sing her back, sing her back. I will sing, oh, I will, I do. America, I sing back what sung you in.
Poetry. I was trying to catch you off guard. All right. We have on deck Habakkuk Hassan, but please welcome to the stage Sidney Drake.
How Do I Love Thee? Let Me Count the Ways, by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. I love thee to the depth and breadth and height my soul can reach when feeling out of sight for the ends of being and ideal grace. I love thee to the level of every day's most quiet need by sun and candlelight. I love thee freely as men strive for right. I love thee purely as they turn from praise. I love thee with the passion put to use in my old griefs and with my childhood's faith. I love thee with a love I seemed to lose, with my lost saints. I love thee with the breath, smiles, tears of all my life, and if God choose, I shall but love thee better after death.
You know, you can't do this without the support of family. Let's give it up for all the family members in the house, the parents that support their kids. And my parents had to read all those poems I was leaving all over the house. And and then we decided one year we'd read a book together, and I chose Beloved. I was like, yeah, I was that kind of child. Oh, Lord. It's all on tape. What's your name? I'm just kidding. You'll edit this out, right? Hey, Mom. On deck, we have Mera Zell, but coming up to the stage, Sara Hassan. Give it up, give it up.
History Textbook America by Joanne Billingett. I'd searched for Philippines in history class. The index named one page, moved on to Pierce. The making of America marched past my enigmatic father's place of birth. The week he died, some man we didn't know called up. This is his brother, one more shock, phoning for him. He died 3 days ago. The leaden black receiver did not talk. My uncle never gave his name or town. We never heard from him. Was it a dream? The earpiece roar dissolved to crackling sounds. A dial tone erased the Philippines. And yet my world grows huge with maps crisscrossed, my history alive with all I've lost. Thank you.
On deck, Sara Most. And coming up to the stage, Mera Zell. Give it up.
Ode to the Midwest by Kevin Young. The country I come from is called the Midwest. Bob Dylan. I want to be doused in cheese and fried. I want to wander the aisles, my heart's supermarket stocked high as cholesterol. I want to die wearing a sweatsuit. I want to live forever in a Christmas sweater, a teddy bear nursing off the front. I want to write a check in the express lane. I want to scrape my driveway clean myself early before anyone's awake. That'll put him to shame. I want to see what the sun sees before it tells the snow to go. I want to be the only black person I know. I want to throw out my back and not complain about it. I want to drive 2 blocks. Why walk? I want love and stuff. I want to cut my sutures myself. I want to jog down to the river and make it my bed. I want to walk its muddy banks and make me a withdrawal. I tried jumping in, found it frozen. I'll go home, I guess, to my rooms where the moon changes and shines like television.
Y'all were laughing, but there's some of you in that poem. And some of them are sitting right next to you. Sometimes I feel like a bad Midwesterner. That line about the out shoveling the snow verse. I have yet to shovel since it snowed. The postman has stopped delivering to our house, needless to say. Yes. And I keep getting the image of the state fair, like those first couple lines. I just feel like it'd be great to perform that poem at the state fair. That'd be awesome. Oh, all right. On deck, we have Bella Calorie, and coming up to the stage, Sara Most.
The Work of Happiness by May Sarten. I thought of happiness, how it is woven out of the silence in the empty house each day, and how it is not sudden and it is not given, but is creation itself, like the growth of a tree. No one has seen it happen, but inside the bark, another circle is growing in the expanding ring. No one has heard the root go deeper in the dark, but the tree is lifted by this inward work, and its plumes shine, and its leaves are glittering. So happiness is woven out of the peace of hours, and strikes its roots deep in the house alone. The old chest in the corner, cool, waxed floors, white curtains softly and continually blown as the free air moves quietly about the room. A shelf of books, a table, and the whitewash wall. These are the dear familiar gods of home, and here the work of faith can best be done. The growing tree is green and musical. For what is happiness but growth in peace? The timeless sense of time when furniture has stood a life's span in a single place. And as the air moves, so old dreams stir the shining leaves of present happiness. No one has heard thought or listened to a mind, but where people have lived in inwardness, the air is charged with blessing and does bless. Windows look out on mountains, and the walls are kind.
How you feeling? Aha. Caught you that time. One more time. How you feeling? Feeling good. That's right. That's got a little rhythm to it. I always tell my kids, if you're going to sing, you got to add some flavor, So one more time. How you feeling? Feeling good, feeling good. All right. One day you'll be poets too. Keep going. On deck, we have Habakkuk Hassan, but coming to the stage, Bella Calorie. Give it up.
Mrs. Caldera's House of Things by Gregory Zhanikian. You are sitting in Mrs. Caldera's kitchen. You are sipping a glass of lemonade and trying not to be too curious about the box of plastic hummingbirds behind you. The tray of timeless forks at your elbow. You have heard about the back room, where no one else has ever gone. And whatever enters remains. Refrigerator doors, fused coils, mower blades, milk bottles, pistons, gears. You never know, she says, rummaging through a cedar chest of recipes, when something will come of use. There is a vase of pencil tips on the table, a bowl full of miniature wheels and axles. Upstairs, where her children slept, the doors will not close. The stacks of magazines are burgeoning. There are snowshoes and lampshades, bed springs and picture tubes, and boxes of irreducibles. You imagine the headline in the Literalist Express. House founders under weight of past. But Mrs. Caldera is baking cookies. She is humming a song from childhood, Her arms are heavy and strong. They have held babies, a husband, tractor parts, and gas tanks. What have they not found a place for? It is getting dark. You have sat for a long time. If you move, you feel something will be disturbed. There is room enough only for your body. Stay a while, Mrs. Caldera says, and never have you felt so valuable.
All right. On deck, Alena Vane. And please bring up to the stage Habakkuk Hassan. Give it up.
I felt a funeral in my brain, 340 by Emily Dickinson. I felt a funeral in my brain, and mourners to and fro kept treading till it seemed that sense was breaking through. And when they all were seated, a service like a drum kept beating till I thought my mind was going numb. And then I heard them lift a box and creak across my soul with those same boots of lead again. Then space began to toll as all the heavens were a bell and being but an ear, and I and silence some strange race wrecked solitary here. And then a plank in reason broke, and I dropped down and hit a world at every plunge, and finished knowing then.
All right. On deck, Sidney Stromgren. But coming up to the stage, Alena Vane. So I keep going all the way to the stage.
Entirely by Louise MacNeice. If we could get the hang of it entirely, it would take too long. All we know is the splash of words in passing and falling twigs of song. And when we try to eavesdrop on the great presences, it is rarely that by a stroke of luck we can appropriate even a phrase entirely. If we could find our happiness entirely in somebody else's arms, we should not fear the spears of the spring, nor the city's yammering fire alarms. But as it is, the spears each year go through our flesh, and almost hourly bell or siren banishes the blue eyes of love. Entirely. And if the world were black or white entirely, and all the charts were plain, instead of a mad whir of tigerish waters, a prism of delight and pain, we might be sure where we wished to go. Or again, we might be merely bored. But a brute reality, there is no road that is right entirely.
All right. We have on deck Grace Alferts. But please welcome to the stage Sidney Stromgren.
Megan Married Herself by Caroline Bird.
She arrived at the country mansion in a silver limousine. She'd sent out invitations and everything, her name written twice with "and" in the middle, the calligraphy of coupling. She strode down the aisle to At Last by Etta James, faced the celebrant like a keen soldier reporting for duty, her voice shaky yet sure. I do. You may now kiss the mirror. Applause, confetti. Every single one of the 140 guests deemed the service unimprovable, especially the vows. So from the heart. Her wedding gown was ivory, pointedly off-white. After all, we've shared a bed for 32 years, she quipped in her first speech. I'm hardly virginal, if you know what I mean. No one knew exactly what she meant. Not a soul questioned their devotion. You only had to look at them, hand cupped in hand, smiling out of the same eyes. You could sense their secret language, bone deep, blended blood. Toasts were frequent, tearful. One guest eyed his wife, hovering harmlessly at the bar, and imagined what his life might have been if he'd responded years ago to that offer in his head. I'm the only one who will ever truly understand you. Marry me, Derek. I love you. Marry me. At the time, he hadn't taken his proposal seriously. He recharged his champagne flute, watched as the newlywed cut her 5-tiered cake, both hands on the knife. Is it too late for us to try? Derek whispered to no one as the bride glided herself onto the dance floor, taking turns, first to lead, then follow.
All right. Please welcome to the stage the final poet of this round, Grace Offerts.
Child, with many a childish wile, timid look and blushing smile, downy wings to steal thy way, gilded bow and quiver gay, who in thy simple mind would trace the tyrant of the human race? Who is he whose flinty heart hath not felt the flying dart? Who is he that from the wound hath not pain and pleasure found? Who is he that hath not shed curse and blessing on thy head?
All right. So now we are going to give a huge round of applause, feet stomping. You can stand in ovation if you want for all the poets tonight. Yes. Great work. Wonderful. Thank you all for all your work tonight. Beautiful, beautiful performances. And now we're going to take a short break as we tally the scores, and we'll be back to let you know who will move on to the third round. Thank you.